Martin, good to see you again.
Thanks for having me again. It's a pleasure to see you again.
This year's 3DEXPERIENCE conference circles all around the question how we can reimagine the future and transform today. What are the challenges CEOs in the industry are currently facing?
There are challenges based on the transformation that are ongoing in the industry. There's profound changes. Companies are asking themselves what to produce, how to produce, where to produce. And there's linked to that, there is challenges that the CEOs are, of course, addressing. Some of them are quite known challenges like time to market. Time to market means market share, means profitability. But there's new topics as well. Topics such as how do I make my supply chain more resilient, more reliable, more predictable, more empower them to be more collaborative. There's topics, new topics, legislative restrictions like the CSRD on the Corporate Sustainability Directive that forces companies to show how their behavior is impacting the environment and society. And last but not least, I think a lot of the CEOs today are confronted with human fear of change. So there has to be a lot of effort invested in how do I manage business transformation. So these are some really critical aspects. I think at CENIT we have answers to a lot of these challenges, but nonetheless there's a lot of new challenges that are arising.
So innovation and growth are inextricably linked with this transformation. How can we reimagine the future from now on?
Okay, so we can start reimagining the future. Let's start by reimagining the present. We have everything available today that we need to rethink how to move forward. The key will be laying the foundation with digital continuity. In fact, digital continuity will help companies to take smarter decisions faster. When we say end-to-end digitalization of industrial processes using Dassault Systèmes 3DEXPERIENCE platform, we can do two things. On the one side, we can de-silo information, and we can fluidify information and knowledge networks. So in other words, one is breaking the barriers, and the other one is connecting the people and sharing and reusing knowledge. And that's something that we can do already today.
So there are solutions at hand, but are there any sectors that are specifically impacted by the transformation that needs to happen?
You're absolutely right. All the sectors are impacted, manufacturing as well as non-manufacturing, by the way, as well. But there's a particular sector that is touched, in my view, that is the supply chain sector. Supply chain sector, why? If we look back a little bit, we need to remember what has happened in the supply chain over the last 20, 30 years. First, OEMs started to outsource certain activities, then to offshore activities to reduce cost. Now we had COVID, we have geopolitical tensions, and so OEMs are saying, okay, the supply chain is under pressure, so I need to bring back activities, manufacturing back to Europe, for example. There's a real need for OEMs to have a functioning supply chain network, and when we see that there's one brick in the supply chain that is not functioning, for example, the availability of material or manufacturing logistics, it has a domino effect all the way back up to an OEM's ability to deliver a product to the market. So that is really quite critical. You need to have a look at this in particular for the supply chain. Yeah.
So what's your advice to medium-sized manufacturers hesitating to go all digital?
I would like to answer your question with a rhetorical counter question. Imagine that you could have a digital representation of a physical product in 3D, including behavior, simulating product usage scenarios, for example, manufacturability, impact on environmental compliance. This is all something that we call the virtual twin. Now imagine that you enrich this information with other information from ERP systems, for example. And now, even today, imagine that there's artificial intelligence assistants that are complementing these virtual twins to make them even smarter so that product development processes can be accelerated. This is all possible today. So my advice to the small and medium business is to say, let's start now to put in place the foundation for true digital continuity, exploiting virtual twins.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.